Veronica G. Cardenas by Sophie Novak. March 1, 2019. Daniel Zamora still remembers the smell. At first he didn't realize anything was wrong. A small blister appeared on his left pinky toe where his sneaker rubbed against his skin. He had developed blisters before, but this one wouldn't go away. First the tip of the toe darkened, slowly turning the jet black color of his hair. Then the color spread toward the rest of his foot. He was used to ignoring such things. It was 2016, and Zamora, now 55, had gone his whole life without health insurance. Born in Matamoros, Mexico, he moved across the border with his family to Brownsville when he was about 6 years old. For decades, Zamora, a legal permanent resident, worked maintenance jobs for low pay and no benefits. He couldn't afford to take time off or see a doctor. Sometimes, when he wasn't feeling well, he'd brew an herbal tea from the leaves of the moringa tree just outside his front door. He often tried curing his cuts and blisters with ointment or rubbing alcohol. Occasionally, if things got really bad, he reluctantly went to the emergency room, where, he says, doctors made snide remarks about his inability to pay. So he waited. Maybe it would pass. Finally, the smell got unbearable. Like roadkill in the hot South Texas sun. A couple of months after the blister appeared, Zamora drove 2 miles to Valley Baptist Medical Center, where doctors quickly diagnosed him. His diabetes, uncontrolled for years, had blocked blood flow to his toe, preventing it from healing. What began as a minor blister was now a life-threatening emergency. Zamora says the doctors sent him home with medication to treat the wound, but a few weeks later he went back to the ER, where he had 2 toes on his left foot amputated to prevent gangrene from spreading up his leg. Daniel Zamora, 55, was diagnosed with diabetes about 10 years ago. In 2016 he had 2 of his left toes amputated. Veronica G. Cardenas. When Zamora found out he had diabetes, about 10 years ago, it didn't come as much of a surprise. In the Rio Grande Valley, nearly 1 in 3 people has the disease, triple the national rate. The valley is among the poorest and least insured regions in the country. It's also overwhelmingly Hispanic, a population that has a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Perhaps the most visceral indication of the valley's diabetes crisis is the shocking number of people living with amputations. The rate of diabetic amputations in the valley was about 50% higher than the state rate in 2015, according to data from the state health agency.